Hey, and welcome to the QB Show, starring Woody Adams, Don Brolin, and myself, Stacy Kildal. We'd like you to take a minute to visit our sponsors. Our show is brought to you by the following: Avalara.com, an amazing sales tax engine to help you make sales tax less taxing. Exact Online, an online inventory solution specializing in manufacturing and distribution. Tsheets.com, an amazing time tracking solution. Skyline from UnidataIT.com, QuickBooks and software hosting. And Zencash.com to help manage your accounts receivables. We hope you enjoy the show. Here we go. So hey everybody, welcome to the May 27th, 2014 episode of the QB Show. I want to thank you guys for joining us. I am traveling, so my splash screen is not the greatest splash screen. I'm doing a screen share right now. I'm Stacy Kildal. I'm joined with Don Brolin. Woody Adams is going to join us in just a couple minutes. He had some family stuff to take care of, and then he's going to be logging in. I just want to take a minute to mention really quickly our sponsors. We have Avalara.com. And please go visit all of our sponsors. You can go to theqbshow.com and see all of our sponsors there, as well as find links in the description of our show on YouTube as well. So we have Avalara.com. They do sales tax management. Exact Online. They're a really great manufacturing and distribution inventory add-on for desktop as well as QuickBooks Online. We have T-Sheets, which we love T-Sheets. It's time tracking and an online time clock. Zencash, amazing accounts receivable tool to help you and your clients get paid faster. It shepherds your invoices from open to paid very quickly. And then we have UnidataIT.com, and they provide all of the hosting that Don and I do, as well as actually all of my clients. So if my clients are not using QuickBooks Online, they're using QuickBooks Desktop, and they're hosted with Unidata. And for those of you who are new to the show, I just want to mention that we're very, very, very picky about our sponsors, and we only choose sponsors that have products or services that either Dawn and or myself either use in our own practice, or our clients use, or even Woody recommends to other pro advisors and other clients. So want to thank you guys all for doing that. I'm going to go ahead and say hi. Here I am. Dawn, I just want to say I am in a hotel room. You can see this is not my normal office. There's no signed picture of Geddy Lee or Chewbacca behind me like there usually is when I'm in my office. So I'm actually out in Mountain View. I'm going to be at Intuit headquarters for some meetings this week, and then I'm going to be out in LA for the California Accounting Show. Dawn, what are you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm going to be here in my office. That's where I am. I'm here. Although I'm going to a conference show on Thursday with Unidata. So going to go down to the city on Thursday, but just kind of working with clients, trying to get some extensions out the door, doing a little bit of, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's what I'll call it. So it's been good, though. Been good. Gina is here. Gina, rock out. And there's Woody.
Yes. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
nice.
I want to mention that there's a couple ways that you can watch and listen to the show. So you can obviously go to theqbshow.com and click the live link. Just so that you know, it's going to redirect you to radiofreeqb.com. We're leaving all of our content there because we used to be the Radio Free QuickBooks. Or you can go directly to the YouTube site as well and watch live on YouTube. The thing is live page, we actually have, you just have to click the play button on the little YouTube embedded link, and then we actually have a live chat. So for those of you who've been listening for a long time, you know that we've always had a live chat on Blog Talk Radio, and we're not using Blog Talk Radio anymore. but we still have that live chat, and all you have to do, you can watch and you can do the live chat. There's a slight delay in between like the YouTube live feed and the chat, but still not too big of a deal. So again, you just go to theqbshow.com, and there's a live link up in the top left-hand corner, and also over on the right-hand side, it's like live. You'll be able to find it. And what's really nice, what we really like about the switch to YouTube, is that it's one link for our audience to bookmark. So it's the same place every week. There's no worrying about making sure you got to the right page. It's always going to be the same link. You can go to that live page, or you can go to the YouTube page, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And I think the quality is going to be a little bit better. There's not going to be any pop-up ads, so I think it's going to be better for the audience. And eventually, we're going to get it back up on iTunes. So I'm going to be working on that over the next couple weeks. So hopefully, within the next 2-3 weeks, we will have the YouTube up as well on iTunes and posted to their video podcasts. But Woody, what's going on?
Nice. Oh, just hanging out, just taking care of some things. Good to see everybody tonight on the show. Getting used to the Google Hangout thing.
Yeah.
See, dang fly or tick or whatever just seems to have burrowed in my wall, and it's been there the whole time. That's I've named that fly Charlie, by the way, just so you guys know. So he's just every time I do the show, he kind of just hangs over my shoulder. No, there's exciting stuff. The May release for QuickBooks Online enhancements came out, and I don't know, I kind of came in late. I do apologize for the show, so I don't know where you guys are right now, but I wanted to show some cool stuff in QuickBooks Online, or one thing that I thought would be really neat for people whenever we can get to it. I was going to go in product as I'm trying to get into my QuickBooks Online.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, that'd be sweet, because every month we come up with a release, and a lot of times it's a small release. Here, let me share out.
All right, so I'm going to hide what I'm going to do so that everybody can
let's test it. It'd be fun.
Yeah, so I'm going to just put it on you so everybody can see the screen. And Gina, I know there are a couple of people are in the chat room. If you can just let us know what you see, that would be helpful.
Yeah. Hopefully you see all my company profiles I have attached to my email.
That's
nice.
Awesome.
But in the now, unfortunately, you won't see a lot of these enhancements if you access your client's QBO file through QBOA. For whatever reason, when you go in through QuickBooks Online Accountant or the new QuickBooks Online Accountant, I cannot really see a lot of the enhancements that we roll out to production for just QuickBooks Online. So keep that in mind. If I show you something and you're not seeing it, it's probably because you started in your QuickBooks Online Accountant, as we've encouraged everybody to, and you're opening your client files from there. Sorry about that. I'm hoping we rectify that scenario. So if you really want to see the enhancements, I suggest go into your own QBO file, not via QBOA, or just go into your client's QBO file as a non-accountant user. So right now we have this little thing. It's for like over-the-shoulder viewing. You see how I have my bank account balances here? Private mode. It just kind of makes the balances go away. And it's not like a preference. It's not something that all of a sudden it'll be private and everybody who logs into QBO. It's a pretty nominal change, It's not like it's a teeny little blip, right? But if you are at a Starbucks, Bryce Forney, and you're worried about someone watching over your shoulder and seeing a checking account balance of one of your clients, it's called the private mode, or they calling it Starbucks mode. I think is the internal name for it, which I think is funny, and it's got to be from my guess is a Bryce thing just for fun.
Yeah.
Now here's probably my favorite. In the old QBO, on a transaction, there was a recent activities button where you could look at the recent transactions, right? So if I go to an invoice, you'll notice in the upper left there's a little clock which is the recent transaction. So on any transaction, I can now see the recent ones from the transaction I'm on. So if I want to check and I click the little clock icon to the left of the transaction form name in the upper left-hand corner, then you'll see the recent checks, the recent bills, or in my case, the recent invoices, because I'm actually on an invoice. That's my favorite enhancement from this little May enhancement run that we did. I shouldn't say we. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with it, but I thought this is a request that I get a lot. Hey, you know, I'm used to QBO Classic, and I could easily see all my recent checks when I'm on a check. What happened? So they added that back. The other thing is, look, the save button, just plain old save. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you're making a change, you're doing a transaction, it's save and new, save and close, save and send. Yes, it's supposed to be sticky, so when you do save and close, it should always come back save and close. But sometimes I just want to save and not go anywhere. See? Nothing happened. It didn't go away. I didn't move on. Nothing got sent. I love this one, this little save button on the bottom. Okay. Now let's go look at customize, which appears to be growing. Hey, Don, what is this? What is this thing?
Well, that's a cute picture of Isaac.
No, I know what that is.
Smart Vault. Yeah, baby.
Oh,
Smart Vault.
Oh, you were pointing at something. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, Isaac. I love it.
I was looking at Isaac.
Yeah, let me preview it just so you guys can see what my invoices look like going to my customers. I think it's pretty funny. Yeah. Great picture of him.
Look how cute he is.
It's awesome.
So nice Smart Vault. Yeah.
Yeah. So we added a new template called Fresh. And, you know, I still like bold because when I send an invoice, I know you guys don't do invoicing, but when I send one out, I like it to really be like screaming at them. So I like the bold one, but there is a fresh one, right? There's fresh. Here's friendly. Bold is cool. Airy. Airy's in there. And another, so I think that the fresh, see this one is just kind of weak as far as the font, right? I mean, I want something more exciting. But yeah. We did add to the columns for some of them. Let's see here. Fresh, I think. No, which one is it? Is it bold? Columns. Okay, there's one where we added a invoice number, just so you guys know. Let me see here. Form number. There we go. Sorry, it's in the header. So we added the form number, which I guess was missing from some of the templates. So that is those enhancements, and there were others too, but the big one for me is this kind of recent transaction, recent activity from any transaction. So let's say I'm on a payment, you know, I can go look at recent payments, and then I can just go to that one instead. That's nice, you know, because the only other way to do it before was to go do a search, you know, and then search for payments, right? And that's, you know, it's cool, but it's not, it's like 5 clicks. And, you know, I could just go from the payment itself. So when I go into payment now, in the upper left, I click on the little hourglass. So look for that. And all transaction forms, a bill, check, whatever, you should see it. That's exciting. And those are some of the key changes that I did want to cover today. So hope that was helpful.
I thought it was nice.
I'm unsharing now. Back at it. Nice.
Well, I think one of the other things too is maybe I could be wrong or I could be right, which is always a good gamble. Is at the when you first get into the home page in QuickBooks Online, it doesn't tell you how many transactions in total you need to address. Down the right-hand side, it now has the circle and the number in it of the transactions that you have to address. I just noticed that today for the first time.
Nice.
Are you logged in? Did you check that out, or do you not have anything synced?
You mean needs attention? It tells me that. Here, let me try it again. Here. All right, let's try this again. Can you put it back on me there, Stace? Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Are you talking about in the activity section over here, Don?
Just on the home page, yeah, to the right.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't.
It doesn't look like this on mine. Are you syncing with a bank?
Oh, no, no,
Yeah.
sorry. That would be here. And I want to show you guys this. Let me sign out. You see, I don't have a bank hookup to this account, but it is important to have one. So what I'm going to do is sign out, and I've started to do this.
I don't see your screen at all, Woody. Just so you
I
know.
Really?
saw it. I did see it.
There
Do you
you
see it
go.
now?
Now I don't.
Really? Crap.
I did before though. There, I see you. I see it.
Okay.
But the problem is when we talk, it goes away from your screen share.
That's
That's why.
crazy.
So go ahead.
Well,
Now,
yeah, let me show you guys. So if you Google, do a search for QBO sample company, it brings you to an article, and then you can just click on QBO plus sample file. And this is for those of you, if you don't use QBO or never have and you just want to check it out. And then you have to put in a bunch of numbers. It's like the little GUI. And then I'll show you, yes, I know what you're talking about, Don, for the banking. What transaction needs to be addressed, and I think in this sample file there's 25 on the home page if I'm correct. It does take a little while to load for the sample file. I'm not sure why. Yeah, over bank accounts, see? Checking, 25. Savings,
Yeah.
1.
See,
7. So I click on it, it brings me right in, and these are the 25 that I need to add to the register. No, that's sweet, but I haven't done anything to. Or that we're just down, they're new transactions really is what it is. No, I like that. That's cool. So thanks for that, for reminding me. So those are some things that I wanted to show, and we'll have to keep an eye on that whole, when other people talk, the view falls away because it'll just kill the whole demo thing, and maybe then we just discuss and answer questions and not demo,
well,
unless there's a way to lock
we were
it.
talking about that. Like, we're just gonna be quiet, and what we can do too is I just keep putting the camera back on you. If it flips to one of us, if for some reason it pulls up some audio. So I think we got it. It was just
Nice.
your screen was just gone. Like I think there was something wrong with your connection. Like I couldn't see your camera or your screen.
Terrible.
So just for a second there.
Yeah. Well, it's not acceptable, so that's my new phrase now.
Right.
Acceptable or not acceptable.
Right.
No. All right, so anything cool that you guys were kind of sharing and I totally hijacked it, you wanted to keep going on before we go into questions?
No, we were just saying hi and talking about what we were doing. Wasn't it?
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was been working on a Mac cleanup project. It's not a horrible, thankfully. It's not like really, really big, but big enough, I suppose. So I converted the data file to Windows because I wanted to be able to undo all of the bank statements and get it kind of start over again.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
What
So
happened?
that's good. It won't undo the bank statements when you bring that file over. You convert the file over to a Windows file. And they're in QuickBooks for Mac 2012, so there's no undo last reconciliation. And so, but when you move it over, and then when you move it over, the vendors don't show up when you're trying to reconcile. I mean, it's a hot mess. It's not really meant to do that, but I was hoping. But what it is doing, the Mac is letting me unclear the transactions. You know that's how you used to do it before undo reconciliation. Remember those painful days? You had to do one at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, take your own eyeballs out. So now, though, at least in the Mac, to unclear them again, again, it's not a huge data file, thankfully, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. I tried to rebuild the data in the QuickBooks because, of course, there were duplicate vendors came over and some other stuff, so it wouldn't let me verify the data, which is why I thought the vendors wouldn't show up. But it was only one vendor, so I fixed that and verified it, no problem, and then still went into the reconciliation. And not only obviously couldn't undo the reconciliations, but I still couldn't see the vendors. So I was like, screw this. Forget this. And so
Right.
I went back to the Mac and just did it right on my Mac. But anyway, it was just kind of interesting because and then the other thing that kind of is cool when you come over with the QuickBooks for Mac, when I restored the Mac data file, I wasn't sure what version of Mac they were in at that moment, and I was like, oh, lovely. I wonder, what kind of compatibility there is. I was able to do a backup of QuickBooks Windows 2013 and restore it into a 2012 Mac, which you wouldn't think logically you could do that, but it let me. that
Wow.
was
No,
weird.
there are, yeah, going back to Mac, I think it's not as restrictive. I think it's either current year or back one. I think it's one of those deals, whereas Windows to Windows it would be restrictive. As far
Yeah,
as compatibility going back, and it was even more, it was even less rigid in the older years of Mac, where 3 or 4 years of Mac could all go to QuickBooks 2005, and
right.
2006 could handle 4 or 5 different Mac years. So. I don't know what happened over the years. Now I know it's more locked. And there used to be a really good knowledge base article, telling you. I think there still is. If I searched QuickBooks.com/support and looked for like Mac to Windows or QuickBooks for Mac to Windows or whatever, it would probably give you the grid. It was a nice grid that showed a year of
Right.
Mac and what years Windows supports it, or for the round tripping, which is pretty cool.
It's just
Um,
you got to be real careful. The Mac data is just sensitive. It's just really
it
sensitive
really
to.
is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Macs are sensitive.
Yeah.
You
They're
know.
soft
I
and
mean, I
sensitive
think
and creative.
You know
Yeah, they
what?
are right. They're for creative types, and I think Windows is more of a blunt instrument. However,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. You know what?
but Windows is also paranoid, which would go along with that. And before you go, Stacy, I wanted to mention. You notice, look, Charlie has a friend now. I don't know where that one came from. I got to
Charlie does
name that one
have fun.
too.
You're right.
Oh, now you got two of them.
I got to name that one. I wonder what
Robert.
it is. Okay, Charlie
Robert.
and Robert. Now go ahead, Stacy. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I just bought. I needed so when I'm traveling, it's conference season, so I'm gonna be traveling a little bit, and we have a lot of sort of heavy lifting conversion projects that we're doing, and
Nice.
so I need to have a local install of Windows and Transaction Pro importer exporter for some of these conversions that we're doing. And so I went and grabbed just a cheap little Windows laptop, and it has
How do you like
really,
it?
I hate it. I can't even describe to you my absolute, like, I put forth the energy to
Oh, God.
despise this little computer, and I'm actually on it right now because I wanted to see how it would do. Um, but I really, truly, it's got Windows 8, which that doesn't really bother me in and of itself. Um, it's
Yeah,
just,
I don't
I,
like Windows 8,
I
but
think
that's me.
like I don't understand why the start menu has to be a completely separate screen. I just think that's stupid, but whatever. That's neither
Agreed.
here nor there. It just I just really hate dealing with the Windows computer. It just like I
Yeah.
plug it in. Here's the deal. I bring it home, I charge it, right?
Yep.
I delete all the stupid apps that it came with because I don't
Right.
need all that crap on there.
Yep.
I do what I need to do. I download Chrome, and then it immediately says, "Oh, I'm sorry." So I charge it. I download Chrome. I update the OS, and then it tells me that the mouse that I have plugged in, the USB mouse, it doesn't recognize it
Of course.
literally within like 4 minutes of me using it. So I had to, restart the whole stupid thing. I mean, it's just stupid. Like I've
Yeah.
never in 2 years I've never had something like that happen with one of my Macs. So I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
it, and I
Well,
don't want to use it anymore. So there's
yeah,
that.
not happy with it. Yeah. No, I got you. So it's funny. We had a question on the community about they had a QuickBooks for Mac 2011, wanted to bring it to either Windows 12 or 13. Basically, Don explained it. Um, not an ideal conversion, and you can find the options to go back and forth under the respective file menus of either of the QuickBooks products.
Ah,
And good KBs on it, so that's cool. So all right, so Stacy, I have a good one though on QBO to talk to you about. Um,
okay. I
it
hope I have an
is.
answer.
Oh, you do. Now, the actual credit card charge form is not in QBO. Someone was like, "Hey, how do I enter a credit card charge?" Do you know what has replaced it? Because you can do the same thing, but it's not called credit card charge.
I do know. I totally know. So I can't really screen share because I'm having a hard enough time just being connected with this Wi-Fi here in this hotel.
Right.
Otherwise, I would do what you're going to do is you're going to go click, you know, the what's it called there, the spinny plus sign, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're going to
I think that's the Procreate button.
the Procreate button, yes. You enter a check and not, or you enter a, what was it? You enter a bill and 9 months later you pay it.
You have to ask Kevin what the joke was. I don't remember.
So it's the Quick Create button, also the
Yep.
Spinning Plus, my favorite little thing. It just makes me so happy just watching it spin. So you're going to go there, and then you're going to click Enter Expense. And so
Right.
then you can choose whether
Exactly.
you want it to be a check or a cash expense or a credit card. You just have to choose what account
Right.
it is. And this, I think, is really great for maybe a new business owner or a new client who they don't really ever know how to enter maybe something that they paid out of their personal account or whatever. But if it's a credit card charge and it's a business charge, I would just use the bank feed. I would just download it. It makes it a lot easier. But if you need to enter one charge at a time,
No, that's good.
you can also take a picture of it with your phone and the receipt right when you do it, and it'll get posted that way. Or you can do the Quick Create Spinny Plus, and you can do Enter Expense. Thank you. That was an easy one.
Well, that was cool. And the forum question, I'm going to share out again, so you might have to lock in on me. This will be the last time I share.
No,
as we know.
share all day if you want.
Let me know when you can see me.
I can see it.
Okay. So what Stacy's talking about, so the question was like, how do I enter a credit card charge? Because when I go to the Quick Create, under vendors, there's a credit card credit, but there's no credit card charge like we know of in the desktop and also in, in a credit card charges. And in QBO Classic, and we wanted to credit the liability account and debit the COGS or expense. How do you like that, Don? That was pretty cool. That was fun. And then I click expense. And this is what Stacy's talking about, is that you do a lot of expenses from here. So I can choose Bob's Burger Joint, and then payment method, and this is where I'm going to choose, my Visa card. And the account, though, what am I going to credit? It's going to be the Visa card. This is what credits the credit card. I do agree. So that was the question on the forum. They're like, what he did is he chose Visa here, and he also chose Visa down here. And obviously you get this message that says you have to choose a different type of account. He thought it was talking about the source. This will be considered the source. I don't even know if QBO has those types of rules and source versus target, but this would be like the source account. And then down here is going to be, my meals expense or something, travel meals, whatever, and I can put in it was $7 burger and save it. And that actually is a credit card charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a credit card charge.
Yeah.
So that expense is a credit card charge, and I think it's still called an expense. It doesn't change it to like credit card charge, but it's hitting the Visa, so that's how you'd want to do it. Whereas a credit card credit is its own transaction. But so you're going to go down here. You're going to want to do a credit card charge because definitely go with what Stacy says first. Hook up your credit card account to the online banking in here and bring them down. Yeah, that's probably why we didn't even bother putting in that thing, because we were hoping that people are more and more going to just add transactions through the downloaded transaction module. But you're going to look for credit card charge, and you're going to go, well, I don't know. You're going to probably click on credit card credit and think there's a bullet point, you can change it to charge, but so you go to expense. So interesting call out, and that was a good question because I had that on the community, so I was trying to explain to him what he probably was doing. Good stuff. Now, did you guys have any? Yeah, go ahead. I have a good one for Don, but
for either one of you to answer this, because this was a question from somebody, I believe, that was at either the New York show or the New Jersey accounting show last week or the week before, and they were using QuickBooks Online, and what the problem was is when they pulled up their adjusted trial balance, the adjusting journal entries, it wasn't looking at a specific period. It was looking at all of the adjusted journal entries that had ever been entered into that QuickBooks Online account. Have you guys, so the adjusted trial balance, the ending balance was off. Have you guys ever seen that in QBO at all? I've never seen that. So, and I don't work with those reports.
On the adjusted trial balance, that it's off?
Yeah,
the debits aren't equaling the credits?
Well, no, what they were saying is they pulled up from what I understood from the email, they were pulling up an adjusted trial balance for a specific period, and it was pulling adjusted journal entries, all of them, from.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I had never seen that, and I just wondered if you guys had ever seen that, because
that's kind of weird.
I don't ever use those reports because I don't.
Yeah, you don't. Right.
So I just wondered if either one of you had ever seen that, or maybe.
Well, Don, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you don't necessarily need an adjusted trial balance. You just need a correct trial balance, right, at the end of the day?
Well, if somebody is trying to do some kind of financial statements, a lot of times they like to use the adjusted trial balance because the journal entries show. I don't know if I've never used the QBO one. Okay. The desktop one shows the adjusting entries so that if there's a problem, you can drill into the adjusting entry. If you can't figure out why, let's say, you do adjusted trial balance from the prior year when you're doing the tax return, or you're maybe doing financial statements and you're not sure why is their balance off from what I have, or maybe they've double entered an adjusting entry, which does happen, or they don't reverse one that you told them to reverse at the end of the year. So those are some of the reasons why we'd use that, so we could see the adjustments that are being made or changes. But I've not looked at it in QBO. I've only done it in the desktop. I've only used the desktop version.
Okay.
I'm still going through QBO.intuit.com to get to my client's files so that I don't have to pick and choose, and then they all show up. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like the, honestly, I do the QBO mostly during the day too, unless someone asks me a question about QuickBooks Online accountant or something. Yeah, and because I do like the old pick list. I mean, there are some good advantages to the new QuickBooks Online accountant, but the fact that I can't see the new enhancements kind of precluded me from using it on a regular basis because I need to know what's new or coming new. So, but I'm sure we'll clear all that up soon. So, Dawn, I have a really cool auto repair company question.
Okay.
But I don't think it's that. I think it's, I don't think it's that detailed. It just sounds detailed, but it's not. So I'm setting up QuickBooks Pro 2013 for a client. The company does auto repair. A customer may have more than one vehicle, and it would be nice to be able to have the vehicle identification number appear on invoices. Mm-hmm. I could do it in a custom field, but each time I would have to enter the number again unless I had it memorized for that customer. However, if it's a customer with more than one vehicle, I would still have to override the info on the vehicle, etc. So he also considered using multiple ship-to addresses with a different one for each different VIN number and have that in the ship-to address. Any other suggestions?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I know what he's saying because I've had people talk about the VIN, and you have to think of the vehicle, and this is the hard part. You have to think of the vehicle as the job.
Right.
So that solves the multiple vehicle thing. So, do they put the VIN in as the customer number? Probably not, because you're going to look up Brolin if you need to repair a car. You're going to look Brolin up and then maybe look up what kind of vehicle it is in the customer list. You're not looking for the VIN number. But I'm actually I'm in the desktop right now, which is not on this computer because I'm on my Mac, so there's that. But what I would probably do, and depending on how much they're using their customer center, I don't know how detailed they're using it. They could use one of the fields. They have to pick a field within the customer, but like they're saying, if they're using if they have multiple vehicles for people, then they would just add a job to solve for that.
Right.
And then because what you want to make sure you're always thinking of is on the template, on the invoice templates.
Yeah.
Which one of these fields can you add to that template? So website's one of them. Are you using website? Are you do you have a website? I would hope they would, but sometimes people don't. maybe the CC email or the fax, or I don't know. They'd have to use a field and determine that field to be for the VIN number, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
that stays with that job.
Right. So I like that customer job. What if I don't know how many characters. I'm trying to remember my characters, but yeah, I guess you would use
31.
Okay, so you could do
31's the max, so you couldn't use the customer
Right,
name.
right. Couldn't use the job field, right? So it'd have to be another one. Okay. No, that's good though.
But if I create a copy of this sucker, no, I don't want to do that. I was just going to look to see.
Here, yeah, while you're doing that.
Yeah, while I'm doing this, I'll just pick. I'm going to pick one, but I want a second to look in the templates here. Formatting, custom design. All right, let's try that. So I'm in 2013. I don't want one of those kind of forms.
Yeah. I mean, if he's not using the customer type list, he could throw the VIN in there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying to that.
Okay.
So I'm actually just going in right now. They can, in the layout designer, the way you want to look for it, like when you're troubleshooting and stuff like that, if you go to the add button and you want to add a data field, it's going to tell you. So you can use account number. Their account number could be their VIN. Of
the job itself.
Yeah.
The job under the customer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. So they could do that, or they could use there's something in here called long text. I don't even know what that is.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, here. Let me show everybody what Dawn's talking about. Here, Stacy, I'm gonna share for a sec.
Okay, I'll be quiet. I'm just sitting here minding my own business.
No, I'm just saying. So Dawn, what she's talking about, and this is great, Dawn. Yeah. So I'm in the customer center. You're gonna pretend this is a car.
You're like, okay, wait. Okay, I think there you go.
I'm in a customer center in QuickBooks. Pretend this is a car. This Project 01. This is the job, right, indented under the customer. Say Karen is the owner. She's got 3 cars. And then if I edit the job,
yeah.
Here we go. Sorry, it's already up. There we go. The account number field in payment settings.
Yeah.
So you can put the VIN there, because you're probably not going to use that field, right?
Probably not.
And you said you don't like any of this stuff, custom field, this kind of thing.
No, I don't want it to make a list. I just don't want it to make a list. Yeah.
Gotcha. So account number you can add to reports too. So it'd be payment settings, account number. Put the VIN in there, and then you have that, assuming it goes way out, which I think it does. I don't even know how many spaces a VIN is, but it's definitely. I mean, I'm still going. I mean, this is it's plenty for a VIN.
Try to hit OK. You should have tried to hit OK and see if it let you.
Oh right, I'm just gonna go for a while. I think a VIN is like what, 30 something or whatever.
It's
See, oh look
long.
at that, it's showing me. Yeah, all right, so
nice.
So it's that many. So
that's yeah. To let you hit OK, Woody.
All right, so I'm way over 30, 40, 50. All right, so it's plenty for a VIN.
All right, hit OK though. Whoa! All right, you're not listening. You're not doing a good job of listening.
You have to.
Wait.
We want to see if you can save it, Woody. What is wrong with you? Come on, buddy.
Yes.
All right, now hit OK, brother.
It did. I did.
Okay. All right. Because listen,
there
that gets us all freaked out.
Right.
Okay, good. Roger.
So it's well over 50. It's well over 50.
So Eileen's asking a question. If she did not.
That's a good one.
Oh, I see. She's talking about something in the chat room. Okay.
Yeah. So.
And Eileen, I logged in through
Facebook.
Through Facebook, yeah.
So that's another thing, and I'll thank you guys for bringing that up. I have 2 things that I want to mention. I just got a couple texts. When you go to the live chat page, you can log in. Look at the bags under my eyes. I just want to say I'm working on 2 hours of sleep. It is it's 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is Stacy time, and I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning because my 5-year-old climbed into bed with us and then proceeded to kick me all night. So I finally just said I'm going to go on the couch. So when you go to the chat, you can log in using Facebook, or you can use login. The add-in, the WordPress add-in that we have is called QuickBooks. And so you can create an account there. You just have to make sure, I think, that you fill in everything there, name, email address, all that other stuff, as well as put in a picture. I'm not sure. because I haven't had any problems with it, but I'll check it out. So, but if you're having issues with it, I guess maybe just try again. I honestly, I don't know. I can't, I'm not an expert at it just yet, but we're getting there. This is only the second week that we've used it, so bear with us. So you guys know us. We just throw this stuff at you, and then we kind of all learn together. We're all sort of in this together. And I also just found out that we have some special guests tomorrow. I know, or not tomorrow, next week. So you guys, we just had Joe Woodard on last week, and then we had him on a couple weeks ago. But we have him coming on again next week with an Intuit executive, and I don't know exactly who that's going to be because we have some special news and some special announcements that we're going to be talking about next week. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Kind of going to be a good, fun show next week. Just FYI.
Hey, that's exciting.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's it. That was all I wanted to say.
Nice. Well, and thanks, Don, for that question. Now, here's a good one that Stacy and then Don could weigh in on, and it's basically more of a mindset of when you're trying to sell QBO or suggest QBO. Shouldn't say sell, but suggest QBO as an option to a client. So she has an appointment with a new client, currently does her books, and they have payroll, so they're using QuickBooks Pro 2011, so they need to upgrade. So she's thanking QuickBooks Online, but she's wondering, how do you really sell that platform to a small business? This is a retail, one location, 4 employees. She can go get Pro for, you know, $150 on Amazon, or at Staples for like 200 or something, or she can purchase, you know, QuickBooks Online, and it's $20 for the first year, and then it's all this stuff, so it's way more. So it's, you know, you guys have probably heard this argument before, the obstacle of how are you guys selling QBO to clients? And I mean the idea of it as a solution if, you know, they could just go buy Pro, you know.
So I'll tell you how we do it, and this is how we've always done it. It's and maybe it's a little bit different because most of the time clients are coming to me because they're finding me because of an article I've already written on QBO, and so they know that I'm kind of an expert in it, and so that's
Right.
usually not a big deal. But if they come to us and they need help, and maybe they're using QuickBooks for Mac or they're using Windows and they're doing a cleanup, and they say we do their cleanup, and then they are interested, obviously we're going to try and you know, get them on as monthly recurring clients. You know, we tell them, you know, if we're using QBO, we have this always on access. You know, I'm an IRP, Intuit Reseller Program, so we get a discount for that, a monthly discount.
Right.
If you place the order through the IRP program. Also, we just tell them that, you know, your data is going to be much more accurate, much more current, much more up to date. You will always have access to it. It's the data that you own. You're gonna, and if you decide you don't want it, you know, want QBO, you can always convert it to desktop if you want down the road. Most of the time, it's really, I don't need to sell it. When they know that they have access and they can look at reports and they can see things and do what they need to do from basically anywhere that they have internet access, it's a no-brainer for them. We don't really have to sell it too much. Dawn, how do you guys do it? What do you guys usually do?
About the same, depends. I mean, it totally depends on, you know, do they have a network already set up? How is that all coming into play? What are the needs of the company, obviously, and what they may, you know, certain things that aren't going to happen in QBO but can happen in desktop, and, you know, just totally depends. It's got to be what's best for them, and that's easy typically for me to decipher, you know, usually just having a conversation with them, obviously with some pretty good pointed questions, and understanding, you know, what they're thinking, what have they already researched. You know, you really want to be careful, obviously. You know, is $25 a month subscription for QuickBooks Online expensive? That's going to be relative to the client. You know, they may say, well, why would I want to do that when I could just buy a $200 program and keep it for 3 years? So, you know, some people are price sensitive, some people are not. You know, and if they're not price sensitive and QBO has everything that they need, then rock on. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Very good.
I had a pretty
Thank
good
you.
ITO thing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I
No,
was going
please.
to say the other thing that I always recommend is if the client is kind of a little reluctant
Mm.
about that, like Dawn said, if it's a price thing, find out what their pain point, what their fear is about moving to QBO, whether it's learning new software maybe, or if is it the monthly subscription fee, or find out what it is that they don't like about the idea of QuickBooks Online and moving them to QBO, and kind of prepare yourself and have a few, if you really want to move them to QuickBooks Online and use QuickBooks Online, have some, arguments, not arguments, but have some counterpoints to some of those, fears or pain points kind of in your back pocket ready to take to them, have them ready and say, oh, well, I understand that, but here's this, I know you're paying a monthly fee, but, now you don't have to upgrade. You can keep that for 3 years, but now you'll always have the most up-to-date software. Or, don't worry about learning the new software because we'll make sure that you get trained properly. So there's a lot of different ways, as long as you communicate with the client and you understand what it is that they're worried about, you just prepare. It's all about talking to the client, I think.
Nice. That's good. I'm glad you guys waited on that because it comes up at the conferences too. People ask and they're saying, well, how do I sell that? So good stuff. Thanks for that. Silent installation of QuickBooks. I get this question usually from large firms and their IT people every year. I'm looking for a way to perform a silent installation. I guess they call it an unattended installation of QuickBooks Pro 2014. Just doesn't matter, of QuickBooks. Basically what they want to do is just push out the install to like 20 or 30 computers without having to go and install each one. I'm unable to do it utilizing the MSI, right? Is there any way? So no, we still have no, a lot of the IT department will create this patch that goes out and installs QuickBooks, on all the computers. And it's interesting because we have a process where you can choose it to install on our computers, although it's always, I always do it myself because it's always corrupt when it just gets pushed out from some server. But we have nothing, we've not devised anything that we like, you're going to download the executable, you're going to install it on each machine. We don't have a way of batch installing or silently installing it. Not saying that someone couldn't build it had they that skill set. I just can't tell you how. And when we've talked with IT departments at large firms, the answer is always no, we have not built something like that or do not support a silent installation of QuickBooks. It's a great idea, though,
Or just go to QBO and put all your clients.
Yeah, I mean, but so
I'm just kidding.
let's see here. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not going to say it.
Nope.
You sure?
Nope. Say it.
Sure.
Well, it was really, it's an ITO thing.
Oh yes, please.
Bring it.
Yeah,
We
well,
like ITO.
well, I have liked ITO until today a little
Oh, I'm
bit.
sorry.
Yeah, so
What
just a
happened?
little bit. Well, I don't think it's necessarily ITO. I think it's tax software in general. This can happen where you prepare student returns, kid returns, where the parents are going to claim the kid, so they don't claim themselves. They can still claim the standard deduction up to $6,100, at least for 2013. And clearly in the PDF and clearly in the software it says that they did not claim themselves. Yet when the parents go to file, they can't. It gets rejected, saying that the student claimed themselves. And it's not. Like I said, it's not necessarily an ITO problem because it's never happened before. And I've filed these returns for these people for years, years meaning a couple of years in ITO, since I started using it, but never had that problem before. It was weird. So, we tried to file the parent return, and though, clearly shows they didn't claim that the kids didn't claim themselves, it bounced back. So now we have to file. You have to file amended returns by mail. Wait until those clear. You have to send an explanation letter to the IRS saying, this and that, and then refile, and then try to file the parent's return. So it's just, it puts more money on the client. Client's got to pay me to do it. I'm not doing it for free. It isn't my fault. So sad day in the world of technology and e-filing.
Sorry to hear that, Don.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, it's really. But you know what's cheered me up are Bob and Charlie. Made me feel like $1 million. They're still hanging in there back there.
You
They're
know,
still hanging in.
yeah. So just so people know, we get our house and property fumigated, so I don't actually have bugs in the house. It's
It's
screws
okay
in the
if you
wall.
do, Woody.
It's
Woody, you
screws in
should
the
paint
wall.
your wall the same color
I don't
as
want people to think
Stacy's.
that I'm out in a barn or something. No, but I would, speaking of bugs, chiggers. I don't know if you guys know what chiggers are.
I
They're
do.
rather prevalent in Texas, and they are nasty.
They're
So,
vile.
we went on that Intuit Community We Care Give Back project, and we were cleaning up a river, an area around a river, and I had jeans, socks pulled up, my sneaks. I sprayed all that stuff on your ankles and stuff, and I just got decked by them, and you can't see them. And literally, from Friday night through last night, I was just going crazy with the need to itch, yet trying not to. And they don't like burrow in the skin, but they just put this stuff in there that just itches for 3 days, and literally the actual bites won't go away for like up to 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Wow.
They're part of the arachnid family, spider.
Yep.
They sound brutal.
Chiggers.
Oh,
Yeah,
Huh.
not happening. So
Yeah.
next year I'm gonna, I don't know, do the landscaping project or something. Like, don't go clean up a riverbed with a bunch of poison ivy and chiggers. Go wash windows at a building, something like that.
Careful.
I have a question
Yeah.
for you guys, a QuickBooks
Okay.
question,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let you guys answer it. So I'm working on customizing another user's QuickBooks account, and it doesn't specify whether it's desktop or QBO, so I'll let you guys interpret this however you would like.
It's desktop.
Okay, so I'm working on customizing another user's QuickBooks account, I'm assuming they're a user, and would like to only have the icons/centers on the home window with those that she will be using. I am the administrator. Can this be done, and if so, how can it be done?
Well, there's in the desktop, and it has to be desktop because QBO doesn't do that anyway. So if you go to Edit Preferences, Desktop View, there are some things you can, in company preferences, like I can turn off estimates, sales tax, sales orders, inventory, payroll, and time tracking. So some of those would fall off the home page.
Permissions would throw some things off.
Right, true. But a lot of those home pages, icons are locked there. They're going to still see unless they didn't have any access to payroll at all, like Don said, they wouldn't see the employees section.
If they don't,
the customers, customers and vendors, like you said, yeah.
Yeah, because if they're not allowed to deal with sales or anything, that customer stuff will not even show up. If they are not given permission for payables, none of the enter bills, pay bills, none of that stuff's going to show up.
Right.
You could have a pretty blank home screen.
So my question is, what the heck does this person do, and why are they working for you? I mean, right? What do they do in QuickBooks?
Well, we sometimes I've seen where we've set up clients where all they're doing is entering a sales receipt.
Okay.
That's all they're ever doing, and that's the only button, the only icon that's on their homepage, just about.
Because you basically turned off every other kind of permission in that little user wizard, the 9, 10 things, and then you went into the preference and unchecked,
creating
what
invoices.
you can turn off there.
Yeah.
Right, and then now, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm looking in that.
Got it. I mean, you're still gonna have some stuff in the home page.
Yeah.
You could prevent the home page from coming up, but the user could figure it out, right? And
that's what I usually do. Like if I don't need them to deal with that, and I delete all the icon bar targets. I'm gonna call them targets, Woody, because
good.
with the BB gun out, we get rid of them.
That's good.
I would say we clean up that icon bar and then only put the sales receipt on the icon bar. That's what I've done that before, or whatever it is, the the only functions they use, I never even show them what the menu bar does. They still are restricted. We don't let them look at the bank accounts, their user permissions. But it's actually a good way to give people a clear setup. And I think that's sometimes things we forget. I really like being able to customize everybody's view to what they really need. So
it's kind of like doing bookmarks. It's kind of like doing bookmarks in QBO.
Kind of. Same but different, really.
But in QBO though, you can't restrict the access as much.
Yeah. You can't hide stuff either.
No.
Because sometimes people, they don't even know what to do. They're paralyzed in any software when they go in, when you can just give them, hey, this is the thing you're going to see every single time, and those are the 3 things you need to do, and that's it. And then they don't get confused, because people get confused. It's not their thing. It's totally cool. I get it.
You got to put the blinders on them, right? You got to put the blinders on them, so all they see is that. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
Sometimes
Totally get it. Totally get it.
Let's see here. Oh, Stacy, someone's trying to track pot projects in QBO. How do they turn the project job field on so they show up on invoices?
Projects? Did you say pot projects?
No, projects.
Oh, I thought you said. Okay, sorry.
Projects? I don't know about hot projects.
No, we don't.
We're just talking about QuickBooks, Woody. We're not talking about.
I know. We're just
Come on, buddy.
Know about QuickBooks.
Come on.
They'll have to go to their settings, and then they'll have to customize the template, right? So that it shows up. Is that what they want to do?
Well, there's a setting. You're right. The company settings. Here.
Here's the question, I guess.
They just want to be able to use the customer job field. I'm going to share out again.
Because you don't have to set up a special preference for using. They're called sub-customers in
right.
You can just start using them, but you do have to set it up so that it shows up on the invoice. I'll let you go and I'll shush so you can show it.
Well, I thought that the sub-customer field was going to be there regardless, but there is a bill and expense. If you go to gear icon, settings, company settings, and you click on expenses. Now, if you're opening your client's QBO file from QBOA, you're going to go to the gear icon, company settings, and you're going to click one of the preferences on the left. It's not going to look like the new settings that your client sees. I know it's kind of annoying, but we'll figure it out. There is a track expenses and items by customer. If you do not have that turned on, there'll be no customer field on those transactions. And then
they just want this to show up on the invoices so that.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm overthinking it then.
Yeah, you're trying to track expenses.
Oh, I'm doing. Sorry. Gosh, sorry. Right. So you're saying you got to set up a sub-customer first, right? You set up a sub-customer, and then so it's customer name : project, right? Whereas the sub-customer is the project. Got it. And then when you're on an invoice, you'd be able to choose it just as if you were choosing a customer job in QuickBooks Desktop. Yeah. See? So I got Freeman Sporting Goods, then I got 0969 Ocean Boulevard, whatever. That's the actual project. Okay.
And so what you have to do is for that sub-customer or job or project or whatever you want to call it, you just have to make sure that when you set it up, the information on the invoice, you go into and you edit that customer or sub-customer record and have it show whatever you want on the billing address. So if it's you can have it billed to the parent, and there's settings that you can do bill to things like that. So that's
cool.
Yeah, that's what they were asking.
Yeah, I like the bill to parent option.
Hey, we got 2 minutes. Our hour is up.
Should we talk sponsors?
Yeah, I'll do my screen share, and you do it faster. You do it, I think, a little bit more efficiently than I do.
That's pretty good.
Let me look at it, though. Let's see here. I'll close out of my QBO. That was fun. We actually did a lot of sharing.
A lot of variety today.
Yeah.
That's good. So we would like to thank our sponsors for sponsoring the show, and And it's the big change from Radio Free QuickBooks to the QB show, and so we appreciate them kind of changing along right with us. It's nice to have their support. So Avalara.com, sales tax, sophistication, management, control for both QuickBooks Desktop and QBO, uses GPS tracking, ship-to addresses. For manufacturing, very popular warehouse management and manufacturing software. They're really big in Europe, and they're growing here in the U.S. They hook up to both Desktop, QuickBooks, and QBO. exactonline.com. They do some great scheduling and reporting for that as well. We also have, of course, T-Sheets, tsheets.com. Online time tracking, clocking in and out. They're worldwide. They hook up to both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online. A very easy system, yet robust, and have some. I think reporting is coming. I think they have some reports, or I saw it in beta. I think when I signed in my T-sheet, said reports are going to be in beta. So I think they're even adding more stuff there. So zencash.com, AR services and management, pulls the data out of QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. You can manage all your accounts receivable, what your customers owe, send out reminders, thank you notes. And then finally, Unidata, unidatait.com, QuickBooks and Microsoft Office hosting. Awesome, and both Stacy and Don use them too. So I'd like to thank our sponsors there. And well, that went quick. It was a lot of variety, like Don said, and it was fun. Thanks for letting me take care of something so I could. I came a little late, but hopefully this was good.
I know. I think it was 30 seconds. So.
Yeah. All right. So you guys good? Any final words, or I missed the music. We don't have anything going out, going in.
We're waiting for you to do theme.
Yes.
Well, how do you do
guitar.
Wait, how do you do the? How do you do that though with this Google Hangout platform?
I think it should be a different song every week.
I think just you do a video, you do an audio, you do like a 1 minute audio song, send it to me, and what I have asked our sponsors to do is to each give me a little clip of their logo stuff, and I will create kind of an opening sort of credits, if you will, an opening and closing. We can open the show, and then we can always close it with, we can put the old show song. I do also have to upload the Buscadan Laser.
Yes.
I need to break that out every once in a while, just because it is sort of awesome. So we're getting there. We're getting there soon. So I need audio from you, Woody, and then we'll have video from our sponsors, so we'll basically have kind of an opening screenshot stuff. So we're getting
hopefully if you guys are going to be around tomorrow at noon and Thursday at noon Central, there's the Intuit Academy webinars regarding QuickBooks Online. So I'm going to be there. That'll be fun. And we thank you guys for listening and watching either way. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's working out. Don, Stacy, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
The QB Show out.
QB Show out.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle. We're high up in the clouds and we're never coming down. So get up, get up, get up, get up in the cloud. High up in the cloud and we're never coming down. So get up, get up, get up, get up in the cloud. Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle. We're high up in the clouds and we're not